So you want to become a professional football player. In this series, I'll take you behind the scenes to meet the experts to see what it takes to actually get there.
Our first stop, Munich, the city that's home to the German record champions and probably the fittest team in football.
Who always has the fittest players.
Professional football is more than just your skill on the ball. You have to be able to run fast, jump high, hold off your opponent, and play about 500 games a season without getting injured. So how do you gain that physical cutting edge that it takes to get to the pros? That's where strength and conditioning comes into play.
Chris Gamperl is the owner and head coach at Munich Performance, a training facility that focuses on peak performance and injury prevention, where Chris trains some of the best in football.
So if we want to know something about strength and conditioning and performance on the football pitch, Chris is our guy. Let's go talk to him to see how he trains the very best and the top youth prospects. Why is it important for young players, aspiring professionals, to be doing these kinds of things in the gym?
So we use the gym for injury prevention and for individualized performance.
Chris's first session is with a young goalkeeper with high aspirations of becoming a pro. Everything from his warm-up to his training consists of movements that translate to how a goalkeeper needs to move on the pitch during a game.
He's a goalie, he has to do a lot of fast movements on the pitch, so his muscle fibers needs to be activated for that. And on the other hand, we work on some more vertical power. His actions, his movements is very, very individual, very unique for his team. So the lateral things, the vertical things, we work here to make his goalie performance better, but on the other hand also to make him more robust for injuries.
Would you say it's almost more important for a youth player to do these kinds of things and build like a strong base?
Not every player has with 17 the physical part to be participating in pro football. So the gym is actually a lot more important to the youth players.
I've heard a lot of people saying, yeah, but if you train in the gym, you're gonna get too big, you're gonna be too slow, you're not gonna be able to run.
This is actually a myth, came from the 70s, I don't know why. So if you work in the gym like a bodybuilder, maybe then you are not using the muscles and things on the pitch. But if you use the gym in a right way, it's only have benefits.
The off-season is when players usually make most of their gains in the gym. In season, their strength training changes to make on-pitch performance key.
Some players come here 5 times a week, but then they switch the goals. So maybe they come twice for upper body, once for leg, one for mobility and one for recovery, and then they have everything they need.
Every position has different movement requirements on the pitch, so players should train in the gym based on the requirements of their position. Let's see how Chris trains some of the most common movements in football.
Now, we all have this image of like Davies or Haaland doing these runs, catching up to people and just being so fast. Could a player who maybe isn't the fastest player, could they get faster?
So yeah, of course, every player can get faster as his individual standpoint is right now. Not every player can get to the top speed of Adama Traoré, for example, or Fonzie, because this is also genetically a lot, but you can get faster if you do the right things. I'll show you some exercises, let's go, to make you faster now.
All right.
You just try to push back the floor aggressively.
Okay.
Let's go. Push, 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 and sprint. Push, 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 push. That's it. Let's go.
Okay, so this was speed. Now, what about a player like Cristiano Ronaldo? Okay, we all have that picture in our head of him, like how high he can jump. So if you're a striker and you want to get up high, or even a midfielder who needs to like win balls in the air, what can you do to maybe get more powerful in your jumping?
Think about jumping vertical. You have to know that explosive strength needs to have a strength fundament. So for these actions, we use stuff like trap bar deadlifts or single leg because it depends also if you want to jump bilateral or with one leg. Mostly the jumps in the pitch are single leg jumps. That's high, I know. Easy money. Push, push. Yeah, there we go. Step down. Now you saw a bilateral exercise with 2 legs on the floor, which helps a lot for performance. But when you talk about injury prevention, almost every motion movement on the pitch is a singular. It's like cutting, change of direction, also sprinting. If you only train bilateral in the gym, you will not have the same effect on your injury prevention. So now let's go to the next best exercise.
All right.
So.
All right. Jesus.
Yeah. Soft knee, knee outside, big toe pushing, hip is all the way back. Stop. One, two, and up. That's it.
Since football is mostly played with the lower body, some players might neglect training their upper body. Is upper body training really that important for football players?
It's very important to train it, not just because of looking good at the beach, but also sprinting. Duels has a lot to do with upper body and a little bit core. We're not doing bodybuilding things, so we're not building muscles you are not or you cannot use on the pitch. So we mostly do basic upper body exercises for strength. And now we see if you can do some pull-ups, the most important exercise for the upper body ever.
All right.
Let's go.
You heard that, guys. No beach muscles, only functional.
I mean, beach muscle is important too. Right? Yes. Slowly down. Go all the way down. And now do 2. Opa! Wow. Good job. And now I have something for all the guys who cannot do pull-ups. If you cannot do pull-ups, do a jump and go slowly into full extension. But take care of your chin with the jumping, okay?
Okay.
Jump up. Yeah, and slowly down. That's it. That's it.
Leon Goretzka is an example of what hard work in the gym can do for a player's performance. Goretzka's transformation was more than just looks. It took his game to the next level.
Leon, when he was at Schalke, he was way leaner. I mean, he probably has had 10 kilos less muscles, but he was a great technical player. He has a good speed. But now what he can do is the defending. When they lose the ball, it's like bam, and they get it again because he's so powerful in the first step defending that I think this helped his performance a lot.
So we talked about why strength and conditioning is so important for athletes, especially young athletes, how it can prevent injuries and help you perform better in all aspects of your game. But what about those players, like a Thomas Müller, for example? He doesn't look like he works out at all.
It's actually very funny because if you see Thomas Müller, maybe you think he is weak because he has not too many muscles. But on the pitch, people say he is not very weak, he is strong. But to be honest, Thomas is a very, very genetically gifted, no injuries, no muscle injuries. For those 1% of all the players, maybe the gym is not the most important thing, but I tell you one thing, so also he does a lot of sprint training and stuff. That only genetic will not help you too much. So this is why Usain Bolt failed to become a pro football player after his 100-meter sprint career.
So for young football players, maybe they don't have the money to get themselves a professional coach to train them and stuff. What is the biggest advice that you would give them as to how they can improve their game and get better in a strength and conditioning sense?
If youth players don't have the money or the budget or the time to have this, go to Instagram accounts. look for, ask questions, ask some coaches, go to your club, ask some, do you offer some programs? So if you are proactive, you will find a lot of information in the internet these days to coach yourself a little bit. And then if you become pro and you have a little bit more money, you can afford a little bit more.
So you've signed up to the gym. What's next? There's a lot more that you're gonna have to do before you're playing here. Are you ready to get in a competitive edge over your opponent? Stay tuned for more.